The University of the West Indies, through its Institute for Gender Development Studies and Open Campus, recently collaborated with the H. Lavity Stoutt Community College to facilitate a lecture on the topic Child Sexual Abuse and the Complexities of Gender, Power and Sexuality. Kathy Richards tells us more.
Issues of children suffering at the hands of persons who should be showing them love and respect is never a pill one can swallow. And it becomes even worse when we hear of cases of children being abused sexually. This is an issue that is very prevalent in the Anglophone Caribbean and has far-reaching effects.
It is significant not only as a violation of the personal integrity of young women, boys and girls, but also because it has been shown to enhance the risk for HIV infection and other adverse physiological and psychological outcomes.
Ever so often, social arms of society and the courts of law are saturated with matters of child sexual abuse, and while in many instances the violators are put away behind bars, the child is left with a lifetime scar.
Survivors of child sexual abuse may suffer from low self-esteem, depression, and other mental illness, may do forms of harm to themselves, either physical harm, engage in risky behaviors of certain types. So child sexual abuse, therefore, is important not only because of what happens at the time of the incident, but of the long-term results.
That is Professor of Gender, Social Change and Development at the University of the West Indies, Trinidad and Tobago campus, Dr. Rhoda Ruddock, delivering the lecture at the H. Lavity Stoutt Community College recently. According to Professor Ruddock, to a large extent, child sexual abuse has been perceived as a social work or public health issue and not as one related to gender-based or domestic violence. Suffice to say, ever too often, rather than focusing on some of the major aspects of the situation, too much time is spent on the blame game.
Parents and households must be supported to meet the challenges of 21st century parenting. What I'm arguing is that parenting in the 21st century is not parenting in the 20th century. There are many other demands, the social media, the commercialization, the television, things that make life much more difficult for parents. And parents need to be supported. We tend to just blame parents, but not support them. I think if people are good enough to bring children into the world, we must thank them and support them, because that's the way our societies continue.
Issues of sexual abuse to children is a topic that is far from seeing too much focus. It calls for societies unifying to fight against this injustice to persons and at the same time form a network around those who would have been scarred as a result of sexual abuse. For JTV News, Kathy Richards.